Hi, welcome to another course review on a course which I recently completed, which is Deep Learning with Computer Vision, NPTEL, provided by, conducted and organized by NPTEL. Now, this course is all about deep learning, and is a touch about traditional computer vision. Starts with traditional computer vision, and from the week 4 to week 12, it's about completely about the modern day deep learning applications. Applications, theory, and practical aspects. Some of practical aspects, and lot of theory. So this course, or rather this video is a course review. How to tackle this course if you are about to take this course in the next term, which would be 12 months from now exactly. Not exactly. I mean the next session, which would happen or run from July session. So how do you take this course? My personal views on the course and some tips and techniques were all about all those things. So let's start with who should take this particular course. If you are just starting with deep learning, don't ever think of taking this course. It would be highly demotivating given the fact the level of difficulty the examination is. And personally, I believe, my feedback about NPTEL courses is the course content is good. If the course content is so open and easily accessible, why not to share the previous year question papers so that students can learn? And I mean, I personally gave the paper, and I want to improve on what are the sections I can improve. So I think sharing the question paper after the exam is conducted and along with solutions would be highly appreciated. Now let's move on to who should take this course. If you are familiar with deep learning, have trained a couple of models, have a good understanding with neural networks, then you should take this course as a refresher and as well as an additive course so that you have a good understanding of what all topics are there. I mean, still there was a lot to teach, and I personally believe that I mean after taking the course, I felt that the instructor wanted to teach a lot more than he could teach. But still, if it would be better, I mean, the course would, I mean, it was seemingly visible that the course could have been extended to two parts. I mean, this particular would have been course number one, and course number two would have been a better version. But let it be whatever it is. So, talking about the course, the very better the best thing about this course compared to the previous course which I completed, which was NPTEL's data analytics in Python. So the all the weeks were interdependent. So you cannot skip to week number 7 or week number 8. Yes, here also weeks are interdependent, but some of the weeks are standalone. So if you want to just clear the exam or pass the certificate, you must do the first few weeks very brilliantly. Week number one, week number two, week number three. Then comes the last few weeks wherein you have the architectures. Learn about the architectures, what each architecture does, what is big GAN, what is stack GAN, what is progressive GAN. Every GAN has a different property, and it is I personally agree that it's very difficult to memorize those things. So I would rather recommend you, please go faster than the pace of the course is proceeding, which is nearly impossible to go faster given the fact that my exams were also, I mean, the previous NEPTEL exam had clashed. So this particular course was running 2 weeks ahead. So I had to miss 2 weeks, and I had no assignment submitted for first 2 weeks. Nevertheless, I had some troubles. At week number 6, I was at par with the course, and from week number 6 onwards, I was ahead of the course. So make sure that if you're taking a course, you're running ahead or at least at par, because it just the course ends and you would be asked to give the examination, which is quite difficult given the fact there's a huge tremendous plethora of knowledge to consume, and that's beautiful knowledge. So for me, it was always a case of self improvement and learning. So I mean, I was not that yeah, my health did deteriorate for a while, uh, but nevertheless, it was just for learning case scenario for me, and I did learn a lot. But I personally felt that things could have been a bit more organized, considering the programming assignments and those things. So let's jump into section-wise analysis. Just hold on. First, hold on. So there are a few pointers, and based on that, those pointers, I'm gonna list out some things, few things. So I just listed out who should take the course. If you're familiar with deep learning models, train few models, have a good understanding with CNNs or those kind of things, then you should definitely take this model, as it would make your understanding and your knowledge to a next level. Benefits after taking the course, you will be quite comfortable with. You will have a good mind map. I think that's an apt word to use. You will have a good mind map with what are the different components in the course and what should be your next step and how you should proceed. The object detection part is, I mean, you get a good understanding of how the history and evolution of computer vision has been. I think that's a great that should be the right title for the course, Evolution of Computer Vision. That is what the course is. So history and evolution of computer vision rather than deep learning with computer vision. That is the better part. Theory part has been covered. Theory, coming to the theory part has been covered with good emphasis. However, I think there's a lot. I mean, obviously, there's no limit to a subject. Depends on how deep or how well you're trying to invest in it. So, given the fact, I think it was quite heavily jam packed with theory. And if you're planning to take this course, take it at your own risk and understanding with how much proficient with deep learning or computer vision you are. I mean, if you're just beginning with deep learning computer vision, it's a straight away no. Coming to the practical aspect, I think it needs some improvement given the deadlines or the timelines and kind of support you get on the online feedback. So I personally understand it's not also feasible to reply to each and everyone, but I think there is a scope of improvement in the online sessions or the practical sessions. Either make it a NB grader software or anything, but there is a scope of improvement in the practical section. Now, depth of the course. Depth, I think, is good. I would say intermediate, and some topics have been touched. I mean, in examination, it goes to the extreme depths. Don't even try to compare the assignments with the theory. I mean, for our batch, you can specifically check for our particular batch the examination of 2021 winter session. Examination 2021 winter session. The examination was significantly difficult than the last year, as the last year highest marks was 79, and the number of qualified people were, I guess, 200 something. So I think this year the number of qualified people are 69. So it's the level has significantly increased. No matter what, go with the understand the theory. I mean, try to remember the very details. Learn about VAEs. What is the difference between variational auto encoders and the GANs? These are from my recollection of what the examination was. Learn what the variational auto encoder and GANs are. Learn about Bayesian theory. Learn about transformations. I didn't remember how the transformation matrices worked. So you have x dash y dash equals to transformation matrix into dotted with x dash original x y and 0 y1 x y1, and those how to obtain a point in the shear transformation, rotation transformation, those particular things. LBP, that is a important question. So all the numerical aspects, please try to focus on the numerical aspects and the theoretical aspects. So I personally believe that depth has been quite significantly visible in the examination compared to the assignments or those kind of things. Learn about the formulas very well. So there was a formula asked for one particular thing which I don't particularly remember, but the options were so damn close to each other. It was, even if you had a partial recollection, it was next to impossible to figure out which is the correct option. Coming to the width has been significantly good. So I just mentioned it is not deep learning with computer vision. It is rather evolution of computer vision, and that has been significantly covered well. Coming to the sources, I think if you have already covered CS 229N and CS 231, those kind of questions, those courses, you will be extremely comfortable with this course. Or, I mean, this course is a good amalgamation. A good research has been done in taking and selecting the sources. Few sources have been from Stanford CS231, CS229. Few have been from Georgia Tech. Few have been from Caltech. So width is quite appreciable. Difficulty is, I just mentioned, don't ever think if you're just starting with computer vision. Think if you are good with computer vision or are comfortable with computer vision. Time allotted, I think, is a huge mismanagement with the time allotted, and I think it does need an improvement. Support during the course. Initial stage it was good, and when the final stage had arrived, I think support could have been better. Scope of improvement. Scope of improvement, I personally believe no matter what examination NPTEL conducts, I think it is a fundamental change that after the examination is conducted, obviously after the examination conducted, please share the question papers along with the solutions. That would help each and everyone whosoever has passed or failed the examination. Apart from it, for this particular course, I believe the practical assignments could have been, rather than posting so many questions, you could have made a single question and go to the depth of it, or a assignment based long term assignment. Just give three different assignments for the entire course, declare that this would be the assignment, this would be assignment, this would be the assignment, because it doesn't make any sense to. Yes, it is good, I mean it's good to go through the repos and try to figure out what code needs to be added, but if you are asking to deliver something from the code perspective, that should also be there in the theoretical perspective. Usually that what happens with the data camp courses or Udemy courses or Coursera courses, I do agree there's a less of practical part is a bit different from the theoretical part, but usually there's a different style of each of the institutions. So what the Coursera is always asks you to implement the formulas. So they try to remove the fear of mathematics. That is what Coursera does. If they try to remove that's what Andrew Ng does, Professor Andrew Ng does. He tries to remove the fear of mathematics. So on the screen he would slowly and very patiently explain you what the particular formula means. You break down the formula for you in a vectorized NumPy method, and in the assignment he asks you to implement that particular formula. Udemy does is all about practical perspective. DataCamp tries to touch upon the theory a little bit, and so it tries to the practical part is entirely similar to what is taught in the video. I think something similar to this could have been done for the practical assignments. Although I personally enjoyed the practical assignments, I have little complaint, but I think just a scope of improvement. That's my personal feedback. At the end of the day, I scored 83 out of 100. I could have scored better, but I was a bit ill and some bad things happened. But nevertheless, I appeared for the examination and I scored 83 out of 100. For any tips and suggestions, if you are taking the course and you want some help, please feel free to reach out to me. Alright, take care. Bye bye.